mean, someone very close to me lives on a farm, an organic farm, and the way that the animals are treated are better than some of the children are treated. And as a teacher, the way that she looks after the sheep is way better than some parents looking after their kids. So for me,
but they're all killed.
huh?
They all get killed.
The animals on the farm,
Yeah.
for food. Yeah.
Would you say that you're against animal cruelty?
I would. Seeing this, I would definitely say.
Let's say if it wasn't like this. Let's say an animal had an ideal life, really happy.
Yeah.
Is there an ethical way for me to kill them?
Is there an ethical way for me to kill them? No, I don't think anyone should be killed.
If we don't need to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think there's a necessity to sustain our life?
No.
No, I don't do fur. I love animals. I do eat meat. I'm trying to cut back, but yeah, oh, that's grim, isn't it? I don't really do dairy. I mean, I know a fair bit about it.
What is it about fur that you think is unethical, wearing fur?
No, it's for them. It's made for them. It's their coat, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's part of who they are. Same thing with elephant and tusks, and it's part of their makeup. It should be left on their backs, not for us.
What's the difference morally between killing an animal for fur and killing an animal for their meat?
Well, I feel like meat is ethically probably not much. I can't watch that.
We have sentience.
Absolutely, but so do animals.
Some.
Well, I hate to talk about
I don't feel like even my dog, who I love with all my heart, he didn't have emotion. From my own experience, he just reflected or projected the emotion that we gave to the dog. I think they have character. I don't necessarily believe character is consciousness. Like, my dog didn't make choices for himself. He ate when he physiologically needed to eat, or he slept when he physiologically needed to sleep. But he didn't have a choice. He didn't choose, okay, I'm hungry now, or I'm tired.
But do you believe he has a subjective experience of life? So he experiences joy, experiences sadness?
I believe that he's dead now, bless him. But when he was alive, I believe that we projected happiness through his physical changes in different scenarios.
What would stop you from being vegan?
What would stop me from being vegan? I think it's the money and how expensive it is. Yeah.
So that's something that comes up a bit. If we think about what the cheapest foods in a supermarket are, so the rice, the beans, the lentils, vegetables, these are all vegan. Do you think it can be done in an affordable way?
I think so.
You have to have a really organised lifestyle. And if you're in the industry that I'm in, like the entertainment industry, I have late nights, sometimes early mornings, sometimes I'm in all different towns. You just don't always have time to prepare your Tupperware box.
Sure.
And like I said, I found service stations, if you're lucky, you'll find a restaurant that will give you a vegan option or give you two choices, but you don't find that everywhere. And do you know what those two choices usually are? Falafel or something to do with chickpeas. After 9 months of falafel fucking chickpeas, I got so bored, you know what I mean? I just stopped enjoying my life.
What do you think is creating more suffering though? You not enjoying your food as much, or the animals going through this?
I know that's rubbish. I know that is rubbish.
Yeah.
I'm saying that your sheep are better looked after than some of the students I teach.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. Because the kids come in malnourished, no love, no affection. They're going to become wasters, addicted to drugs, smoking, all that kind of shebang.
Let's say if I give an animal a really happy life, idealistic, so much joy, does it then become ethical for me to kill them?
That's a nice question.
Do you think that being vegan would be more in line with who you are?
I think so, yeah. I want to stop eating meat because I don't want to eat anything that's been killed. That's why I want to. But I'm not doing really well, so that's why I thought, you know what, I'll try to do fish. Yeah.
But the thing is, people don't see this happening. So what happens is that good people pay for it to happen. Because whenever we pay for meat, dairy, eggs, leather, whatever it is, we're voting with our money and we're affecting that supply and demand.
Yeah.
So we're contributing
Yeah.
So do you think that it's in the consumer's responsibility?
Yeah, it is definitely.
But the thing is, we don't see the consequence of the action.
Yeah.
We pick up that product wrapped in plastic, and we don't see what's happening. If you did see what was happening, let's say every time you bought a fish, you saw a fish suffocating, would you still buy the fish? When you do buy the products, are you contradicting your own morals and values?
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah, of course I am.
So you'd see yourself, you'd rather be vegan?
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I'm with you.
Uh-huh.
I'm with you. It's just that I eat meat. I want to cut back down because I'm eating a fair amount of it at the moment.
The thing is, this isn't an accurate representation. That's also a massive
So-
problem. Is that this is a very small percentage of emotive music, emotive like language,
Sure.
emotive questions, emotive videos.
So you're saying that it's
Good shit.
not always like this.
No way.
So to go back to my previous question, if I've got two animals in front of you, one's really happy, one's really sad, factory farm, are you suggesting it's more ethical to kill the happy one?
I would say that the animal who you are suggesting is sad is in fact not sad, and it doesn't know if it's sad. But if you projected a life of happiness to the other animal, then it would make no difference.
Why would we evolve to feel the emotions of happiness and sadness, and say a dog wouldn't?
Nice question.
Killing an animal is unethical, and therefore you want to cut down. If you put that in a human context and said, look, I know that beating my wife is unethical, and I'm only going to do it once a week, would you say that's acceptable, or would you say, no, it's morally wrong, so you should stop doing it completely?
Yeah, because like I said, of course, you want to stop it completely.
Yeah.
Of course. I understand what you're saying.
We have formed sentient love as the love emotion has come from we have sex for pleasure, and we have related sex with pleasure and also reproduction. So love is a human construct. We've created the feeling of love because we want to have a opposite poly relationship, a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
So we have built a life to have this feeling of love, to reproduce and create our babies. The reason why dogs don't have that, I don't know why. And maybe it's because they don't have sex for pleasure. They still have sex for purely reproductive purposes. I imagine that dolphins and what are the other ones? Macaw monkeys. They are two animals which we know have sex for pleasure. Maybe in a millennia they will develop a sensation that they can call love. I don't know.
I think you're there ethically. You understand the argument. It's perhaps it is about that convenience maybe for you. Do you think if your life depended on it, would you be able to continue lifestyle and be vegan? Your traveling lifestyle.
Yeah, of course. If my life depended on it, I would have to.
So if someone else's life depends on it, would you make that choice?
I hear you.
Because every time we pick up those products, to us, it is a few moments of taste pleasure on our tongue. But to the animal, it's their entire life. Their entire life, we're condemning them to a life of suffering and a life of death. When we could just pick up the soy milk, the oat milk, the vegan sausages. So I think it can seem trivial to us when we see the plastic packet in the supermarket. But if we saw the consequences, if you bought that egg and you saw a male chick go into a grinder, or if you bought the meat and you saw a pig in this condition, you probably wouldn't do it.
I agree. Well, you're giving me food for thought. You're giving me something to think about.
Awesome, thank you. I'm Jack, by the way.
Jack.
Yeah. When a dog gets an erection and starts humping another dog,
Yeah.
are they doing it because they're enjoying it and getting pleasure from it, or are they doing it because they think I want to have kids?
It's an evasive response.
Yeah, well, we've already said that animals don't have emotion.
But how can you prove that animals don't have emotion and we do? What are the differences that you can actually point to and say, here's the trait difference?
Do you think plants have emotion?
No.
Why not?
They haven't got a brain or a central nervous system. But if we look at the reasons why we evolved the ability to feel pain, it's so we can avoid things that harm us.
Yeah.
So it's help our survival. Plants can't move, so there's no reason they would evolve that sensation. But other animals can move just like us. So it's in the best interest of the zebra to feel pain, so they run faster to avoid that lion. So they'd evolve to feel pain just like us.
In a perfect world, I would love to not eat meat at all. But I don't want to not eat meat.
Because you like the way they taste. Cited as well. But
Maybe not. I feel like Rosie's whole family would not have a financial income if it wasn't for their jobs.
But do you think that harming others can be justified based on monetary gain?
I feel like we should be focusing more on the importance of having a military than the importance of saving pigs that don't have emotions.
Got a refill or anything?
Yep.
Thank you.
This card here. There's loads of support on here, but if you were to watch one thing on YouTube, the best speech you'll ever hear, I watched that 2 years ago. Yeah, and that changed my life.
Thank you. I'll
So
watch
it's
it.
super. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Really great. I hope more people take it on board. I'm gonna try, do it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you clearly don't like what you're seeing,
No, I don't.
and nobody does.
Yeah.
But we have to take responsibility. As hard as it is for us to watch it, it's harder for them if we don't.
Exactly.
Because if we don't see this, we don't gain the motivation to change. This stuff is hidden from us. But what's happening to these animals is worse than our worst nightmare. But the positive thing is it doesn't have to happen, because when we make those better choices, we're not contributing to it. And then they breed less animals. So there's millions of us around the world now. So we're affecting that supply and demand. And one day this will end.
Yeah, it will. Thank you.
Thank you.